The Newman family may have survived one nightmare, but the danger is not over. Matt is still out there. Sharon and Noah are still connected to the fear he left behind, and now Adam sees something that Nick refuses to face. The biggest threat may not only be Matt anymore, it may be Nick's addiction and the way it is weakening him right when his family needs him most. On Wednesday, April 29, the Young and the Restless spoilers put Adam and Nick back in the center of the storm. These two brothers have never had an easy relationship. They have clashed, judged each other, and carried years of resentment between them. But after everything that happened with Sharon and Noah, Adam knows this is not the moment for Nick to pretend everything is fine. Adam and Nick already had to work together to rescue Sharon and Noah. That alone was a major shift, because when the Newmans are pushed into a crisis, old battles often have to be set aside. For a while, survival mattered more than pride. Getting Sharon and Noah out of danger was the goal, and both brothers were forced to focus on what had to be done. But even after that rescue, the Newman family is not safe. Matt is still loose, and that means the fear is still alive. There is no clean ending yet. There is no full breath of relief. Adam understands that the family still has a fight ahead of them, and he can see something Nick either cannot see or does not want to admit. Nick is not ready for that fight. That is the truth Adam keeps circling back to, not because he wants to humiliate his brother, not because he wants to look stronger, but because Nick's pill addiction is becoming impossible to ignore. Adam knows that if Nick keeps dismissing the problem, he is not only putting himself at risk, he is putting everyone he loves in danger. And that is what makes this confrontation so personal. Nick has always been the kind of man who wants to be seen as strong, steady, and capable. He wants to protect the people he loves. He wants to show up for his family. But Adam sees the cracks. He sees that Nick is trying to push through something that cannot be handled by denial alone. Every time Adam tries to talk to him about the pills, Nick pushes back. He downplays it. He acts like the situation is not as serious as Adam is making it sound. But Adam is not letting it go, because this is not just about Nick's pride anymore. This is about whether Nick can be trusted to stand firm when the next crisis hits. The timing could not be worse. With Matt still on the loose, every weakness matters, every distraction matters, every mistake could become dangerous. Adam knows that the Newman family may have survived one round, but the next one could be even more brutal if Nick is not clear, focused, and honest about what is happening to him. That is why Adam forces the issue. He does not want Nick to look away from the truth. He does not want him to hide behind excuses. He does not want him to treat the pills like a minor problem when they are already affecting the people around him. Adam understands that addiction does not stay in one corner of a person's life. It spreads. It changes choices. It clouds judgment. It makes a dangerous situation even harder to control. For Nick, hearing this from Adam has to sting. Their history makes every word sharper. Adam may be right, but that does not make it easy for Nick to accept. It is one thing to be confronted by someone you trust completely. It is another thing to be confronted by a brother who has been both enemy and ally, depending on the day. But maybe that is exactly why Adam's words matter. Adam knows what it feels like to be judged. He knows what it feels like to have the family look at him and expect the worst. So when he sees Nick refusing to admit the depth of this problem, he may recognize the danger before anyone else can get through to him. The question is whether Nick will listen, because if Nick continues to deny how serious his addiction has become, he may not only lose control of himself, he may fail the very people he is desperate to protect. Sharon and Noah already went through too much, and with Matt still somewhere out there, the Newman family cannot afford another mistake. This is where the emotional weight of the episode sits. Adam is not just calling Nick out, he is trying to pull him back before the pills pull him further away from the man he wants to be. And for Nick, that may be the hardest truth of all. He wants to believe he can handle it. He wants to believe he can keep moving forward without admitting how deep the problem goes. But Adam sees the danger in that. He sees that Nick's refusal to face the truth may be just as threatening as the outside danger closing in on the family. The rescue may be over, but the real battle is only beginning. And this time, Adam is not letting Nick escape the conversation. While Adam and Nick face a deeply personal crisis, another storyline brings a very different kind of emotional turn. Kane becomes part of a major development involving Malcolm. The odds of Kane being a match to donate bone marrow to Malcolm may feel very Genoa City, but the spoilers make it clear that Kane being a match matters. In a situation where Malcolm's life is on the line, that match could change everything. Lily gets the chance to tell Stephanie and Holden that her ex-husband is willing to help save her biological father's life. That alone creates a complicated emotional layer, because Kane's connection to Lily has never been simple. Their history carries love, pain, disappointment, and unfinished feelings. So when Kane steps into a situation this serious, it is impossible not to wonder what is really driving him. The source suggests that Kane is doing this to flex for Lily. Maybe there is a part of him that wants her to see him in a better light. Maybe he wants to remind her that he can still do something meaningful. But for Stephanie and Holden, the reason does not seem to matter as much as the result. They care about Malcolm being saved. That is the heart of this moment. Whatever Kane's personal motivation may be, the possibility of saving Malcolm is bigger than pride, history, or complicated feelings. Lily's family is facing something serious, and Kane has a chance to become part of the answer. Still, the spoiler tone leaves room for that familiar soap opera edge. Kane's role may be heroic on the surface, but Genoa City rarely lets any act stand without emotional consequences. If Kane is stepping up for Malcolm, and if Lily is watching him do it, then this could stir up feelings that are not easy to ignore. But the story does not turn this into a full reunion or a guaranteed romantic shift. It simply leaves Kane in a position where his decision matters, and Lily is the one delivering that news to Stephanie and Holden. The emotional focus stays on Malcolm's chance at survival, while Kane's connection to Lily quietly hangs in the background. Then there is Sally and Billy. Sally has already dropped a life-changing surprise on Billy by telling him about her pregnancy. That kind of news changes the air between two people instantly. It is not just about romance anymore. It is about responsibility, trust, fear, and the future. Billy assures Sally that he will be there for her and for the baby. He wants to present himself as someone dependable. He wants Sally to believe that he can handle this. And from Billy's point of view, he may not understand why anyone would doubt him as father material. But of course, this is Billy. For long-time viewers, that makes the moment complicated. Billy can be charming, sincere, and full of big promises. He can also be impulsive, messy, and unpredictable. So when he tells Sally he is going to be there, the question is not whether he means it in the moment. The question is whether he can live up to it when the pressure becomes real. Sally is already dealing with the shock of her pregnancy. She has taken a major emotional step by telling Billy the truth. And now, just when she has laid her surprise on him, Billy has a surprise of his own. That is where the spoilers tease another twist. Billy is preparing something for Sally, and the setup seems designed to make him look good. It may give Sally a sense of comfort. It may make her feel like Billy is stepping up in exactly the way she needs him to. But the source also hints that this could lull Sally into a false sense of confidence. That line changes the feeling of the entire moment. Because on the surface, Billy's surprise may seem sweet, it may look like reassurance, It may feel like proof that he is ready to be the man Sally and the baby need. But underneath that, there is uncertainty. Is Billy truly becoming reliable? Or is this just another moment where he shines briefly before everything gets complicated again? Sally's situation is delicate. She is not just looking for a grand gesture. She needs stability. She needs honesty. She needs someone who can stay steady after the surprise fades and real life begins. Billy may want to be that person, but wanting it and proving it are two very different things. That is what makes this spoiler so interesting. Billy's surprise may be meant to comfort Sally, but it also raises the stakes. If Sally believes in him too quickly, and if Billy cannot follow through, the emotional fallout could be painful. At the same time, the Adam and Nick conflict remains the strongest tension of the episode. While Kane's match brings hope and Billy's surprise brings uncertainty, Nick's addiction brings danger straight into the Newman family's fight for survival. Adam sees it clearly. Nick does not want to. That is the emotional collision waiting to happen. Adam is trying to force Nick to admit that the pills are not a small problem. Nick keeps resisting, and with Matt still out there, time is not on their side. The Newman family has already been through fear, rescue, and chaos. But now, the next threat may come from inside the family's own walls. If Nick cannot face the truth, Adam may have to keep pushing harder, even if it tears open old wounds between them. So now the questions are bigger than one confrontation. Can Adam finally get through to Nick before more damage is done? Can Nick admit he needs help before his addiction puts Sharon, Noah, and the rest of the family in even more danger? And when Billy reveals his surprise to Sally, will it prove he is ready to step up? Or will it become the first sign that Sally is trusting him too soon? What do you think Adam should do if Nick still refuses to face the truth?